Now, in my little setup this morning, I talked about the real competition is ICE cars. And that's who we really want to defeat. And I think some of these price changes and whatnot are aimed more at the ICE cars than they are at the other EV cars. Not to say they don't affect the other EV cars, but I think they're aimed more at the ICE cars. But in any case, I think what you and I are going to spend most of our time on is really the other EVs, just to understand them and to help our listening audience understand which are likely to be the winners and the losers, who's doing well now, who's talking a good show, who's not. Maybe there's some investment opportunities out there. We're not investment advisors, but you might hear about one or more of these companies and go, wow, maybe I should have at least some of my portfolio over there as well. Well, okay, let's talk about the number two company, in my opinion. The one that will be number two, at least when the numbers are all counted in 2027, I think BYD will be number two to Tesla. I'm thinking that they'll still be maybe running half to 2/3 of Tesla's numbers. So maybe they'll be at 10 million or 7 million or 9, but they'll be number two in the world at that point. Prove me wrong. No, I'm kidding. What do you think?
Yeah, my money would be, if I had to bet on it, I would bet on BYD. They have really shown some impressive growth over the last couple of years, and just shot past Volkswagen and stole their number two spot there as the second biggest EV maker on the planet. And I've been sitting in their cars. I haven't been driving one, unfortunately, but I have been jumping around in it, and it seems like really great electric vehicles. There is always rumors about something wrong, or people that don't like it, or it doesn't drive very well. But again, the majority of people, as long as it's a nice EV and they can get them from A to B, like you said, well, they're going to build a lot of them. The little Dolphin, and yeah, they have a lot of great cars on a big lineup already. They just need to scale kind of now, because they have all the cars right now, big SUVs, sedans, and these small hatchbacks and everything. So they just need to scale up. That's going to be their only problem. But I think they're going to be half size of Tesla, probably.
They seem to have this strategy, and maybe it's a great strategy because I'm not sure anybody else is following it. It looks like they're going to build these little factories in Africa and in South America, and little factory here, little factory there, and I guess maybe try to be a major player in a lot of markets.
Yeah, and they also want to build a new factory in Europe, and I think it looks like they have to be competitive here in Europe, actually. Because I was surprised with the BYD Han here in Europe. It is crazy expensive. It is, you can get, it's almost twice the price of a Model 3 now in Denmark. It's like $3,000 from being twice as expensive as a Tesla Model 3.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, who is going to buy that? It's a nice electric car, hands down, but it's not worth twice as much as a Tesla. I mean, come on. So I think on a global scale, there is some adjustment they have to do, and they really have to get some more factories up, because I was surprised. I don't know why their EVs has to be that expensive over here. But the same thing with Neo and Xpeng, but they also much more kind of a luxury vehicle. So I kind of expected that from them. But BYDs, they also try to really make some luxury features in the cars, but too expensive in Europe. I don't think they're going to sell much in Europe before they can either get the prices down or start building that factory they're looking for here in Europe. Because their growth, we have to remember, that comes from China. They are the king in China, 100%. Yes. But that's where they are. That's kind of the bulk of their production. They are hardly known in Europe still. They are not in the US yet. I don't think so.
No, they're not in the US. No, and they're interesting because their roots are in the batteries.
Yeah.
So basically, I guess he was the number one maker of the little batteries for cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where he made his money, was making those little round batteries. And then he went from there to build the bigger batteries and then cars. And so he's compared, the few little articles I've been able to find on him, a lot of people compare him to being like an Elon Musk type figure. Very clever and very good at manufacturing.
Yeah. And they also became, the second biggest battery manufacturer for the EV industry, just next to CATL. And they actually gained on CATL in 2022. So that was pretty impressive, because they also full throttle ahead. So that's an EV race that those two guys are having all by themselves.
I want Tesla to win that race.
Yeah, I can't wait until they get up on that ladder.
Yeah, I know.
Top 10 list. Yeah, but they probably will, because, but I think that's also why I'm betting on Tesla will be much bigger, because they are just aiming really, really big with these huge factories. And when they build, and they're so much more efficient at building cars and stuff like that in the next generation, is just unbelievably. And the same thing goes for their batteries, for Tesla's batteries. When they build their little battery plant next to the Berlin factory, is going to be 100 gigawatt hours. That's the first RAM, right? And then they hopefully get to 200, 250. So their battery factories is just a very small footprint, but produces more, or going to hopefully produce more battery than pretty much any other battery factory on the planet. CATL is by far the biggest, but they don't have one factory that produced that many gigawatt hours of production. I think their biggest is like 70 gigawatt hours or something like that. Yeah. So Tesla is really showing we're not just going to come in and do what everybody else is doing. We're going to take this to the next level. And they're also doing that with manufacturing. And BYD is kind of also a legacy automaker. They have been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they were just known for copying everybody. It was kind of ridiculous, like just straight out copy Mercedes or something like that. But so I don't think they have the same kind of production capability as Tesla has. And I think that's where Tesla is going to accelerate. And we're going to see BYD maybe struggle a bit more in the global production of it. Yeah. Because as I see in Europe, I don't see them getting any meaningful shares here until they get the prices down. So, yeah.
Lars, as always, it's genuinely a pleasure to have you on my show. And your show is doing phenomenal. I keep watching your numbers, just keep going up and up and up. So congratulations on that. And you seem to be taking lots of vacation. So that's good.
Yeah. Trying to relax a little bit.
Do a little relaxing. All right. Well, any last words for my audience today, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, this has just started. This is just getting started. I think Investor Day was really a good showcase of this is just getting starting with the whole energy side of the business, robot side of the business, it's charging infrastructure. I think, yeah, there's just so much stuff. Because people are always just asking me, don't you run out of things to say like in your videos? Like, not when it comes to Tesla, no. Like we just getting started.
All right, well, great, Lars. Again, lovely to have you here. Hey, everybody, go to his channel, sign up for his channel, sign up for his Patreons, follow him on Twitter, do all that stuff. I'll make sure all of that information is in the information below. And, you can like this channel too, if you kind of liked what we just did. And Lars, see you again soon, we hope.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Randy.
All right, great.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.